What is up, everyone? I am TST's TheMudMan, and we are back to looking at all the new cards coming to Gods Unchained in the next set, Mortal Judgment. Last video we talked about Deception, and now we're on to the Trust Fund baby of Gods Unchained. Their new archetype is going to involve heirlooms, so let's see how great these hand-me-downs really are. The first card. Beached Colossus, 8 mana, 14/11. That's a bunch of numbers. Frontline can attack. Ooh, so far bad start. At the start of your turn, deal 5 damage to each god. Sounds like it has big numbers, but is worse than most 8 mana cards. So, next thing. 4 mana spell, Reclaim. Draw 2 cards, empower, add a Pharaoh's Heirloom to your hand. For anyone who doesn't know, Empower works the same way that like Kicker does from Magic. If you pay X more mana, where X is the empowered numeral, you can do the secondary effect. So 4 mana to draw 2, or 5 mana to draw 2 and get an heirloom. Seems pretty weak. Next thing. Bifracting Curse. 6 mana spell, pick 1. Destroy each creature with even mana cost. Destroy each creature with odd mana cost. So another AoE board clear for death. This time at 6 mana. Really interesting. I guess this is like a meta-dependent card. You know, like are 2-drops really common? I don't know. This will be an interesting one to see if it's good. But we are on to the next one. On Her Command. Another 6 mana spell. Destroy an enemy creature, give +2 strength to each of your Nubians with 1 cost. So this 1 cost Nubian thing, that's going to be another recurring theme in the set. So this is sort of like Reap, you know, except different, obviously. So instead of healing for 4, you buff your Nubians. So it seems good. Obviously, it comes down to, is this a Nubian archetype worth playing? If it's not, then neither is On Her Command. But if Nubians are good, then On Her Command is probably fine. Unless the deck is like super aggro and doesn't want a 6 mana single target removal. This will be interesting, we'll see. Now we have Wretched Vanguard. He's important because he's a part of the heirloom, so keep him in mind. 1 mana, 2/1 Nubian with Frontline. Afterlife, steal 1 health from your opponent's god. So, you know, not the most exciting card of all time, but pretty decent. Probably frustrating if you played it like a ton of times. Next guy. 3 mana, 4/1 Nether. Chiroptic Hemivore. Definitely nailed that pronunciation. So this thing has Roar. Deal 2 damage to your opponent's god, and then heal your god for 2. Sounds like a 3 mana creature with 1 health. It's probably bad. Big Bony Bastard. We have seen this guy a bit already. He's been revealed. He is a 5 mana, 5/5 Nubian with Empower 1 and Tempt Fate. If you empower 1, you add a Pharaoh's Heirloom to your hand. This card doesn't seem particularly good. Using his Empower means he costs 6. 6 is way bigger than 5 in Gods Unchained. It's the same Tempt Fate question that we had the entire Deception, looky-loo. Does Tempt Fate give you Protected? If so, then this card's really good 1/6 of the time. Next card, though, we've got Vengeful Syruptide. Another out-of-the-park pronunciation on my part. 2 mana, 3/2, a Nubian. Empower 1, destroy an enemy 2 mana creature. So, this is super good. You make a creature and destroy a creature, and that creature can be Pyramid Warden? Seems great. Seems amazing. Curse of Greed, 2 mana spell, destroy an enemy creature with cost 3 or less. Empower 1, add a Pharaoh's Heirloom to your hand. So, another card that just says no to Pyramid Warden. Kills Pyramid Warden, gets you a Pharaoh's Heirloom. This card also seems good. If this Pharaoh's Heirloom archetype is good, then this is exactly what you're looking for. Solid control tool, gets the heirlooms, and then here's the heirloom itself. A 1 mana spell. Summon a 2/1 Wretched Vanguard, which we know has Frontline and Afterlife, steal a health from your opponent's god. Empower 2, also summon a Vile Reaver. We have not gotten to him yet, But spoiler alert, he is a 1 mana 2/2 with Blitz and Burn 1. So that's like pretty good. Also, keep in mind, like both of those creatures you're summoning, they're both Anubians. Like our current existing Anubians, like Princess Taket, that effect happens like it deals 2 damage to your opponent's god if you have an Anubian that dies. Having an Anubian with Blitz means you can kill it immediately. So that's really big for your Taket, as well as that like Corset light Taket card. But next card, we have Dark Sun Celebrant, 3 mana 3/3 Anubian. After you summon a 1 mana creature, give it +1 health, and power 1. Pharaoh's Heirloom. So this is a 3 mana 3/4 with extra steps, sort of. This is questionable. It's probably okay. But you're gonna be using it to like combo most of the time, right? So you would be like playing on like turn 5 with like 2 1-drops to get +2 health. This one's a little tough to evaluate. It seems like it could be okay. It definitely isn't like crazy or anything. But what if the next card is crazy? We've got Returned Tomb Guard, 4 mana 3/4 Anubian. Roar. Summon a random 1 mana Anubian from your void. Empower 1. Pharaoh's Heirloom. So another Empower 1, get a Pharaoh's Heirloom. This card seems pretty decent. Right, he has like a 3 mana creature's stats. He costs 4 mana, but you're getting a 1 mana creature from your void. The creature you're getting you probably like really want because it's a creature you chose to run in your deck. So this card seems good. Seems like a good use of 4 mana. I'm about it. Next card, another Anubian. 2 mana 1/2 Anubian, Hand of the Abyss. Roar, pull a random 1 mana Anubian from your void and power 1. You guessed it, Pharaoh's Heirloom. Obviously 2 mana 1/2 is horrible. It's god awful stats, but this is again probably a decent card. The 1 mana creature pulling from your void is probably going to be like that same Princess Taket thing, and having a little Anubian you can kill is probably good. Next card, Pact Fiend, 2 mana 6/1 Nether. Roar, deal 2 damage to your god. Wow, 6 attack for 2 mana? That's so big, but also 1 health. Card's horrible. Dies to most god powers. Let's see, we got the next card, Scorched Seeker, 3 mana 3/2 Anubian with Tempt Fate. Roar, target a creature. Give it -1 health if it's an enemy creature, otherwise give it +1 strength. So, mediocre stats for its mana cost, versatile effect, relevant tribe. If it sees play, it's probably just fringe play, right? It's not that amazing. On to the next thing. Beacon of the Damned. A Death Relic. It's going to be really hard for Death Relics to see play, considering they already have Necroscepter and Khopesh and Skull Scepter. So is Beacon of the Damned good enough to push those out? 3 mana, 0/1. Sounds familiar. Let's see. If there are at least 4 1 mana Anubians in your void at the end of your turn, randomly summon one of them. Neat. There's, obviously we're trying to pull 1 mana Anubians from our void. There's a bunch of cards that do it. I don't think you would stop playing Necroscepter to run this, even if it wasn't a Nubian deck. Wouldn't you want to just get lots of 1/1s with Leech to keep you alive so that you can do fun Nubian stuff? But, that's the end of that. Cool card art, I guess. Next card. Dead King's Touch. 4 mana spell. Destroy a creature with 6 health or less, like Pyramid Warden. Empower 1. Add a Pharaoh's Heirloom to your hand. More Pharaoh's Heirloom stuff. Neat. The next spell. Hope Lost. 3 mana spell. Give -1/-1 to each creature on your opponent's hand. If the creature would be set to 0, obliterate that card. Oh, so anti-Apakria's monster, mostly. That's the big implication for the Hope Lost, because Apakria is a 0/1. So that just completely obliterates it. Turns off the whole Infinite Apakria's combo. That's probably good. It's a good tech card for the health of things. But next up, we got Bone Roller. This card was also revealed a little while ago, so you guys are probably familiar. 4 mana 3/3 Anubian. Roar, tempt fate, and apply the results to each of your creatures. Could be good. We don't know everything about tempt fate yet. You know, like I said this video, like I said in the Deception video, if one of the options is protected, it's probably worth it. Next card, Reach into the Black. 2-mana spell. Summon 3 random 1-mana Anubians from your void. And power 1. Pharaoh's Heirloom. Probably good. Sounds like this is one card that gets you 3 cards. It's 2 mana that gets you 3 mana's worth of stuff. And it gets you an heirloom. So it's everything you want. Provided this 1-mana Anubian heirloom deck is good. Next card, Heirloom Retriever. Oh, I wonder what he does. 4 mana 3/2 with Deadly and Tempt Fate. Afterlife, add a Pharaoh's Heirloom to your hand. Really bad stats. Yeah, it's like I'm like a broken record at this point, but it's like, what does Tempt Fate do? Does Tempt Fate give things protected, hidden, or ward? Because then this Deadly thing matters. If it can't give itself some sort of protection, then 4 mana for 2 health is too low. Next thing. Salvaging Archive. Atlantean. 6 mana, 7/8. Those are some big old stats. Regen 1 in death. Interesting. Roar, deal 5 damage to this creature. That's a lot, so this is it regens 1 at the end of your turn, so this is a 6 mana 7/4? That's like a joke. Okay, next card. This one's important. This is the other half of the heirloom. We talked about him for a second. The Vile Reaver. 1 mana, 2/2 with Blitz and burn 1. So this is an Axewoman, with the downside of the burn. Axewoman is obviously really good. It's one of the better cards in the game. And then this is an Anubian, which is relevant for those Princess Taquet things. And you should be able to play it like 20 times a game. So like, get used to this guy. This card seems really good. Next up, we've got Lucky Devil. 5 mana, 2/4. Ooh, those are really bad stats. Backline and Tempt Fate. Once per turn, destroy an enemy creature after it attacks. Interesting. That's neat. I don't know if that's good or not, but like, it's hard to target, obviously, because backline. It's not like once per your turn, it's just once per turn altogether. This is probably not good enough to see play, but he's cool and unique. So there's that. The next card, Over the Line. 5 mana spell. Each creature gains -1/-1. Your creatures perform an extra attack on your opponent's god. That's pretty cool. So it's like two-pronged, right? There's going to be synergy for killing off your own Anubians, which giving them -1 health might do, and then you get a bonus attack to your opponent's face. So like lots of favor, lots more damage. This seems like a win con card. Like you would use this to do the final points of damage, which doesn't sound super strong because you're going to have a bunch of like 2/2s. So instead of your 2 attack creatures dealing 2 damage, they'll deal 3 after the -1/-1 bit. So similar to the Lucky Devil, cool and unique, but I'm not particularly hopeful. Land of the Dead, though. This is the card that I revealed. A 5 mana spell. Select up to 6 1-mana Anubians from your void. Summon them to the board. This is like one of the big payoff cards of this 1-mana Anubian thing. So here's the dream. Is you've got like 2 Princess Taquets in the void, or like Princess Taquet plus that Corset Refresh one that steals health from your opponent whenever an Anubian dies, blah blah blah. And then you have like as many of these Vile Reavers as you can hope for in the void, with the intention of spending 5 mana, getting 2 of those princesses, getting all these Vile Reavers, clearing your opponent's side of the board. If you played 2 Princess of Taquets, that means you get 4 of these, which means you'd be clearing your opponent's side of the board, or clearing 4 creatures ideally, and dealing 16 damage to your opponent's face. So that's cool. We can all get stoked on that. Next card, the first of the legendaries, 4 mana, 4/4 Anubian with backline and an ability. Oh, well, what's this thing's name? Asenath, Hand of the Pharaohs. It's got backline. It's got the ability. Summon a 1-mana Anubian from your void. Give it Deadly. So once again, this Vile Reaver, he is the deck. This is the card that makes everything work. Vile Reaver plus Hand of the Pharaoh, pretty nuts. It's just ability, destroy a creature, but frontline sometimes gets in your way. That's a really good combination. It seems good. It seems like this is moderately fine static creature that's kind of hard to remove that synergizes with your entire deck. Okay, but now we are on to Quorum of the Pharaohs Past. This is the reason. This is why we got all these heirlooms. This is the payoff for all the hand-me-downs. What do we got going for us? It's a 7-mana 7/7 Anubian Roar. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy. Repeat this for each Pharaoh's heirloom in your void and hand. So this is what you're playing for. All of those cool little baby tempo turns with your heirloom translates to one super mega burst turn at the end. This is a super Hearthstone-y card, but this is cool. Like, this is the type of Hearthstone card that makes people love Hearthstone. Like, this seems really fun. This makes me really excited to play these heirlooms. This card's dope. 5 out of 5. Super cool. I love it. And then Samat, Bearer of Burdens. We've seen him. He was already revealed a while ago. This card also seems kind of nuts. 1 mana, 1/1 Anubian. When this creature enters the board, give +1 strength to each of your creatures. And as you saw with all the cards that we looked at, you keep putting stuff on the board. You take creatures that died, you put them back on the board. Sometimes you play up to 6 at one time. And this has that like Neferu Hapacri's monster gimmick where it's not a roar, it's just a whenever it comes. So when you pull this thing from the void, it's also going to buff your entire board. It's not just a roar effect. So this card also seems really good. Another great 1 mana Anubian. Yeah, so that's Death, and Death seems like really exciting. I am stoked on these heirlooms. I'm excited to play these hand-me-downs, build up my collection of heirlooms, and then go nuts with this Pharaoh's Past thing. This is so cool. But that is the end of Death. Keep an eye out for the next video, which we'll be looking at the light cards. And until then, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Hey, you! Did you know that subscribing to the TST YouTube channel will increase your win rate by 6.9%? So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. And while you're at it, equip Scythe of the Harvest and attack the like button directly in the face. Bye-bye!